So what we have done first thing is we brought back all the camera manufacturing into North America. So the
Oh, that's
cameras now
awesome.
are, I know, right? So that's
Yeah.
really really amazing. Um, so the cameras are manufactured in Richardson, Texas, and Vancouver, Canada. And 90% of our Pelco portfolio right now is refresh and more to come, right? So Eric, you said it earlier, right? That we are known for our PTZ model. So think about all our cameras getting refreshed right now.
Welcome back to another episode of Push to Talk, sponsored by Beck Tech, a barback company. I'm your host, Eric Smith. I got a special guest here today from Motorola Solutions, Sharen Sidhu, and she is the go-to-market strategist and business development manager at Motorola Solutions for video security and access control. That was a lot. Sharon, how are you doing today?
I am good, Eric. I'm a bit jealous that you're wearing all blue and I'm like in black and with a white background here. So I'm very
You,
jealous.
you got to have Motorola Blue on. Come on now.
Yes.
We appreciate you joining us today,
Thank you.
and will you tell us a little bit about yourself? Tell us where you came from, because I don't think you're originally from the States.
No,
You've
yeah.
been with Motorola for quite some time now.
Mhm.
Give us a little bit about your journey, your history coming to Motorola.
No, yeah. So I just hit my 21 years just a few days ago in Motorola
Congrats!
Solutions. Thank you. So I started my career with Motorola Solutions as a electronics design engineer at the Motorola Solutions R&D Center in Penang, Malaysia, where I'm originally from, designing and developing Astro P25 two-way radios.
Very
And
nice.
since then, yeah, thank you. And since then, I have had the opportunity to rotate into various different roles in the company, from product management, sales enablement, business development, and today I'm part of the video security and access control team here in North America.
Awesome. And we both know that that side of the business, right, is growing tremendously right now. And
Yeah.
so let's talk about that platform a little bit because it's part of a bigger platform, a bigger vision with
Hmm.
Motorola Solutions, right? Last year or last couple of years, it's been called Safety Reimagined, but Motorola is going through a rebranding phase of that, calling it solving for safer, right? As
Yep.
Motorola innovates, transforms themselves, from most people know them as a cell phone company, now to a public safety radio, mission critical, command center dispatching software company. It's really grown and really expanded into the video surveillance market, door access control, and all things security, cybersecurity, et cetera, right? What does the rebranding mean, and what is this significant? What's the significance of that to you and Motorola?
Yeah. So thanks, Eric, for that. And before I, you're right, we changed our narrative and of our company. And when you think about Motor Solutions, like what you said just now, we've been serving public safety and law enforcement and enterprise organization for so long. We know their operations, we know the workflows, we know the challenges, and how we can help them. That is very unique. Not a lot of companies have that level of in-depth expertise and knowledge of their customers. And then combined with that, the people that work for this company, our values, what we all are very proud of as Motorolians, it just makes a really great place for us to work. Now, like you said, if you think about what Motra is doing, we looked at our new brand narrative and solving for safer. There's a lot of pride of what our company do in many ways, and this new narrative signifies our continued transformation and renewed focus on safety and security. And it gives a deeper meaning to the work that we do as Motorolans every day, right? Over the past few years, Motor Solution has purposefully expanded its portfolio beyond just radios. Look, I started
Right.
my career in Motorola like 20 years now. I've been in the company for 20 years. Back then, all we did was communication, critical communications, right? Now we have video security, access control, command center technologies, and artificial intelligence. And together, these technologies enables more powerful collaboration between public safety agencies and enterprise. And all this, what it is really doing is allowing for information to be shared quickly with the right people for an informed and swift response, right?
Yeah,
Like
that's awesome.
companies, yeah,
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 it's changed the way that we've done business in the last 4 or 5 years. I know that Motorola has uh, made significant investments in R&D
hmm,
and acquisitions, right? So you guys are over 60 plus companies now that you've acquired, and some of these we'll talk about here shortly.
yeah,
Some of them that aren't really at the forefront of what most people see on a daily basis, like a Pelco or Video Tech
oh yeah,
or IP Video, Indigo Vision, some of those security companies, right?
yeah, yeah,
The You guys have spent $12 billion in this marketplace, and the way that I always talk about Motorola now, it's not your grandfather's radio company anymore, right? It's not your cell phone company anymore. And I think what you guys have done in the video surveillance access control market has really kind of blown the doors open on the type of connections and integrations that we can possibly do on a daily basis now, to where we're not just going out and having disparate systems,
yeah,
from video to radio to whatever door access control. Now it's one ecosystem, one platform that they can make those connections. So, will you tell me a little bit more about the strategies behind the video security and access control market? What does this mean for our customers? I just kind of hit on it a little bit, but what was the logic behind all these acquisitions? The $12 billion invested in R&D, all the 60 plus companies coming in. What was the logic behind Motorola in starting to do that and realizing that in the marketplace?
yeah. So Eric, if you think about it, like what I mentioned just now earlier was that Motorola Solution has purposefully expanded its portfolio, right? And you think about 5 or 6 years ago, we were zero in the video security and access control space. We have since then made a dozen over acquisition, which started from a Vigilant back in 2018. And if you think about fixed video security, mobile video, on-prem based video, cloud video, access control, we've built up, in my opinion, the broadest and deepest video security and access control portfolio compared to anybody else in the market space today. Of
I
course, we have
agree.
competitors, right?
Yep.
Definitely we have competitors in various categories, but what we have is the deepest and widest product portfolio in the market. And we have continued to focus on enabling growth in this area organically and through acquisitions of a number of exceptional brands. And you kind of pointed some of them, right? So we have, what I said earlier, we started with the Vigilon, and then we have Eva Security, Calypsa, Indigo Vision, OpenPath, Pelco, VideoTech, and then very recently, we've acquired IP Video and Silent Sentinel as well as part of the video security and access control portfolio. So if you think about it, right, together these brands have enabled us to address the diverse security needs of our customers, whether they be small enterprise or they have span of large government entities, right?
Yep.
So it's been really amazing. And what I can say is like it's just not the strategy is not just like is not just purposefully expanding the portfolio beyond just critical communications. I think as part of the strategy is also attributed to you, our partners, right? As you have played a key role in extending our reach, pursuing new opportunities, and providing us with ongoing insight into how we can continue to make our video security and access portfolio even better.
Yeah, we see it on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. Like I said before, it's really changed our business. It's really changed the way that our customer looks at us as a vendor,
Yeah.
as an integrator, going out and acquiring all these companies. And we've been doing video surveillance for 10 plus years, 15
Yeah.
years, right?
Mhm.
So we weren't really new to the game, but we were still fairly new compared to other businesses out there, other integrators out there. And then when you guys came along, we were actively looking for that integrated solution from the door access to the video part, right? That's the most important thing when it comes to schools, manufacturing environments, hospitals, healthcare, those types of environments. And another part that has really changed our business is the way that we operate or the way our cameras see things, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
When we get into artificial intelligence, everybody knows as AI. Some people think it's good, some people think it's bad. It all depends on what side
That's
you're
great.
on.
Yeah.
Yes, there's
Yeah.
good and bad parts to everything,
Yeah.
but we take pride in what we do. Here at Beck Tech, and we're trying to help uh, solve problems every single day, make our
Mhm.
communities safer. And AI actually helps us do that.
Mhm.
And because it allows our customers to be more efficient with their time, and also with their resources. They don't have to have people sitting in front of computers watching 60 video streams or 100 video streams at one time. We cannot comprehend that much data.
Yeah.
And if you think about AI, you could snap a picture from your phone
Yeah.
and figure out, what this cable is, or where you can buy this, coffee cup from. Right? Google will take you right to that website so you can buy it. So it affects everyday life. Social media, same way, right? Some
Mhm.
Facebook, and they're always listening. They got algorithms and stuff like that. How is Motorola uh, being proactive with their AI? How is that affecting our customers um, through personal security, but also, how is it keeping our community safer and our organizations that are out there safer?
Yeah. So I think, Eric, just to like go back to your earlier point, right? There's many different perspective of how AI is, changing the way we kind of think and go about our day to day, right?
Yep.
There's AIs that, AI can either become that virtual assistance for you, right? Or there are certain ways of how AI is used where you want to have a human in the loop, right? And as what you also pointed out is that we have become so accustomed, even in our routine life today. There are companies out there, from Amazon all the way to Netflix, where they kind of curate in terms of what are we looking for and make those decisions for us. Not to say make decisions, they provide information so that we are more calculated and more accurate when we make decisions, right?
Right.
So with that baseline already being set in our day to days, AI now is becoming something so natural where we are seeing how it improves security, right? While some traditional security measures in place today do have a significant impact in terms of decreasing crime or preventing theft, video analytics gives security officers a technology edge, I would say, that no security cameras alone can provide, right? If you think about a security system that includes video analytics, it analyzes video footage in real time, and it detects abnormal activities that could pose a
Yep.
threat to an organization's security. Essentially, what video analytics technology helps here is that it's helping to learn the security aspect of a particular environment, identify unusual and potential harmful behavior that a human alone may miss, right?
Yep.
You may hear this, or you may already hear this, Eric. Like I'm sure you have heard this, a lot of people speak about this, of some stats. There's a lot of studies being done that shows that a human engage in a very mundane task, right? And have a directed attention capacity of up to 20 minutes, right? After
Yep.
which the human attention span begins to decrease. Like, even, I mean, think about you and I as well. Like when we are like, when we're doing multiple things, we get distracted by either, some buzz coming through our phones, or,
Yep.
someone's putting us on, chats. Our attention spans kind of reduces, and we may miss certain key important conversations, etc. The same concept applies in terms of security as well, right? So how this is where AI comes in, right? So AI
Yep.
comes in to take place on the initial human judgment in an effort to increase operational efficiency.
Yeah, and I think the point that you hit on, the real time alerting, right? That's
Yeah,
how Motorola and our company are trying to be proactive in our communities, having some of those public-private partnerships, right? Those real-time alerts. We have school districts that have AI. So one of the nice things, being a partner with Motorola Solutions, and that solving for safer platform, is we've been doing AI for 5 or 6 years now,
yeah,
whereas the rest of the market space is finally or trying to catch up with you guys, right? You see Hanwha, you see Axis, you see a lot of these camera manufacturers are starting to release a bunch of AI cameras, and that's
yeah,
because they're behind the curve right now, right? Because they're trying to catch up with Motorola Solutions. And where I see it's been a huge help is that, like I said before, you don't have to have people standing in front or sitting in front of a 4 or 5 large 65-inch TVs
hmm,
trying to decipher between a forced door open or kids fighting in the hallway or just walking around doing dumb stuff.
hmm,
Uh, in a school, a school hallway, AI can learn that environment, and you can set up rules in there to notify via email, on the Ion radio, or through other devices. And I just think it's amazing. Our customers have adapted to that, and
hmm,
really start to understand and appreciate AI. And when you go back through, if you think about analog video, right, and having to search through hours and hours of video,
yeah,
the AI now is so smart that we can pick apart if you're a human, if you're a vehicle, right, and we can break those down into motorcycle, bicycle, that types of things. We can also break it down by color, male, female, blue shirt, orange pants, whatever, black pants, um, child, adult. It's crazy, all the analytics that are out there um, that help us sift through hours and hours of video at
yeah,
a very, very quick rate, right? And like I said before, it's making our customers more efficient, and it's giving them more time back to do what they need, whether it's principal of school or maybe it's a manufacturing line. They can get the line up and running and without downtime, right? Because now they're not losing money. So,
yeah.
um, and the last example, is we got a call the other day is that customer wanted license plate recognition, right? So
Oh,
AI can trigger that alert just by partial plate. So by time they even roll into campus or that manufacturing building in that parking lot, if you have a camera out there with AI that has license plate recognition, that can trigger an alert to the radio or email or the mobile app, right? And they can meet that person right at the door and escort them right out. That's called, that's being proactive, and we appreciate everything Motorola has done with that.
yeah,
So let's talk about Pelco, right? So Pelco used to be a big boy in the video industry. I know when I got started, all I heard was Pelco, Pelco, Pelco. 10, 11 years ago. You guys acquired him in 2020. Most people don't realize that, right?
yeah,
Pelco's been around 65 plus years. Um, People know him for their analog PTZ cameras, and just that brand name from the last 65 years. And I know they kind of went through some changes from a service side, and before you guys acquired them, maybe had a little rough patch with their cameras. But will you tell me, explain to me and my customers, why get excited about Pelco after the Motorola acquisition? Give us some background on Pelco. Um, I know you guys are making them a powerhouse again in the video market space.
mhm.
Let us know, what changes have gone on or are going on, and why be excited about Pelco.
Yeah, for sure. So before I go into Pelco, I think I want to just set the stage a little bit, Eric. So with all the acquisitions that we have made, right? Now what we have done with the strategy of the branding of our VSME portfolio is that we are leading with two brands. So we have a Vigilon and Pelco,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So a Vigilon is going to be our end-to-end video security platform, and we have two offerings within the Vigilon portfolio, which is if a on-premise basis and a cloud offer, right? So if it's
Yes.
on-premise, you have a Vigilon Unity, and if it's a cloud offering, there's a Vigilon Alta. And then with Pelco, and this is something really exciting for all of us right now, because we have a strong and broad camera portfolio bolted with cutting edge AI analytics. And this is not the Pelco that has been around in the market for over 6 decades, like what you just said earlier, right?
Yep.
This is a new era for Pelco, and it's being repositioned in the market as a device centric brand that leverages cloud connectivity and artificial intelligence to deliver exceptional insights regardless of the VMS, right?
Nice.
So,
Yep.
so that's how we are repositioning and bringing back Pelco into the market, and having this new era, I would say, for Pelco. And
So it's basically VMS agnostic, right? So it's open platform, ONVIF
open platform.
compliant,
That's right.
big things, right? NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act compliance, CGIS, all that fun stuff, right?
Yeah, you nailed it. And that's how I think that's one we are looking at how. So the way we are bringing it back in, like repositioning Pelco back, we are doing it in three main areas, right? And you hit it earlier, right? Spot on. Is the first thing that we're looking at is manufacturing, compliance, and support, right?
Yep.
So what we have done first thing is we brought back all the camera manufacturing into North America. So the
Oh, that's
cameras now
awesome.
are, I know, right? So that's
Yeah.
really amazing. Um, so the cameras are manufactured in Richardson, Texas, and Vancouver, Canada. And 90% of our Pelco portfolio right now is refresh, and more to come, right? So Eric, you said it earlier, right? That we are known for our PTZ model. So think about all our cameras getting refreshed right now, which is a huge thing for us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, uh, I, we've been down to Texas location. It's
Oh, great.
amazing. We walked that site a couple years ago for a Motorola event, and I tell you what, you guys had Pelco, you guys had the WatchGuard body camera
Oh,
stuff down there,
yes.
all the Vigilon stuff. It was very neat seeing how you guys are putting chips into the cameras, and they
Uh-huh.
almost look like old movie reels that just kind of go in that feed in these
Yeah.
these huge machines, and I think one of the nice things is that you know you can use these on not only at a Vigilon, right, or Eclipse a platform, or the Pelco platform software, right, Elevate, um, but you can use them if the customer's embedded with Milestone or Genetech or some of these other software providers that are out there. We can put those on their system. They don't have to rip out their software and relicense everything.
Mhm.
Um, and you guys have a wide range of products from Pelco, from I saw multi sensors to you still have the PTZs to the
Yep.
traditional domes, bullets, 2, 5, upwards of 32 megapixels, which is great, 4K. Um, I do want to hit on the OnVIF again,
Yeah.
and before we talk a little bit more, uh, OnVIF S, the profile was the original profile that came to life. I think it was back in 2011. It was kind of the
Mm-hmm.
standard protocol
Standard. Yeah.
that everybody had to conform to in the video surveillance marketplace. Now it's OnVIF Profile M, and a lot of our cameras are. I know with Motorola and Pelco is this way too, right? Is it's the protocols for the conformant for the metadata on how we write rules, do the rules engine, and how those packets are sent between our
Mm-hmm.
camera that has the AI, our servers, and to a mobile app, or the way that we signal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can you tell me a little bit about Onviv Profile M a little bit in the Pelco brand and why that's important. I know we kind of hit on AI a little bit as well too.
Yeah, yeah. So as part of the portfolio, I would say that as part of the Pelco portfolio, right? Compliance is a huge thing, right?
Yeah,
So as part of bringing the cameras back into North America manufacturing, what that really means is that now we comply to National Defense Authorization Act, which is also known as NDAA.
yeah,
Our cameras have GSA contracts as well. But a big piece of the strategy, like I said just earlier, is that our cameras work with any third-party VMS out there. And for it to work really well with analytics capability with a third-party VMS requires the camera to be on-wave conformant, right, certified. And what on-wave conformance means is that the product is now conformant to one or several on-wave profiles, like what you said earlier. We started with this S, G, T, M, and our cameras are profile M conformant right now. And when the device and the clients are on-wave conformant on the same profile, what that provides is seamless communication between one another. So between the device, the edge, the camera, and also the client, the VMS, right? So that's very important, and often gets missed out in a lot of initial conversations about a selection of camera with the third party VMS. And if you think
right.
about on-wave profile M, what it supports is analytics configuration and information query of the metadata, right?
Yep,
And this is really critical because it has interface of generic kind of like object classification, specified metadata for geolocations, vehicle license plate, recognition of a person versus a object. So that's what Profile M does, right? And it needs
yep,
to be not just Profile M on the devices on the edge. When I mean edge devices, is IP camera or video-based drones as well, but also on the services, which is the server or the cloud-based app with analytics of Profile M also on the client side, the VMS. So that's what
yep.
Profile M is.
Nice, nice. When it comes to compliance as well too, so we have S, G, T, M, right?
Yeah,
There's other brands. Our customers have to be careful about choosing camera brands, right, or a
yeah,
camera company because there are companies that are on the FCC and Homeland Security ban list, and I think we're going to see more of that. So, like a Hikvision, a Dahua, anything Chinese based, right? Um, our customers have to be very careful of, and I think that's why Pelco, we set ourselves above the rest because, with Pelco and Avigilon, you guys are made in North America, right? You
hmm,
guys are compliance with CGIS and NDAA, and I think that's a big deal for our customers because I think they want to know that hey, they're buying an American or North American made product, and they don't have to
yeah,
worry about ripping it out. Like the FCC's got the rip and replace going on right now, right? For any Chinese-based camera systems like Hikvision, Dahua, et
yeah,
cetera, that are out there that all these government agencies, all these government contractors are having to go in, rip out these cameras, and get refunded, some money for that because it's definitely a national security threat having those Chinese chipsets in the cameras. So um, I think what you guys are doing is really awesome with Pelco. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here in the future. I know there's some other stuff that you guys have integrated with Pelco, like Video Tech, and you have Silent Sentinel. Will you just go through a little bit about what Video Tech is, how that falls under Pelco, and then talk a little bit about Silent Sentinel because those are two companies that um, I know a lot of our customers probably don't know about, but we
hmm,
probably have some applications here in our area that would fit really well and probably help comply with some Department of Homeland Security audits
yeah,
and some things, um, with our larger manufacturer, our rail yards, and our intermodal um, shipping docks.
yeah. So
Will you
so
talk about that
Eric,
a little bit more? Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So as part of repositioning telco back into the market, the first thing was looking at manufacturing, compliance, and then the support piece as well, right, which is very important. So
Yep.
all our support now is brought back into the US, right? Really critical to our customers because you can have the best technology, you can have all the great compliance, but from a support perspective, you miss out that part. You don't have that whole system, to provide what our customers really need. So the support is back in the US as well. So that was a very critical part, and that's all currently in place. Now, the second thing was in terms of bringing repositioning telco is looking at our portfolio, right? So we are refreshing, modernizing, and expanding the portfolio, and that's what Video Tech and Silent Sentinel is actually providing us. So Video Tech is known for making some of the best explosive-proof marine grade, corrosion resistant, and ruggedized cameras and housing in the world. You may
Awesome.
recognize some of these housings enclosure actually, Eric. They are used in a lot in outdoor installation, and installation where there's a lot of harsh environments and they want to protect the cameras. In fact, I think in the US there's one car wash company that uses our Videotech enclosure cameras on their for their installation for their outdoor environment, because some of this, if you think about car wash side, they do have some pretty expensive equipment, right? So they want to know
Yeah.
about people coming in and out, and they have outdoor cameras. So from a video tech perspective, what's really adding to our portfolio is all these really specialized cameras. And these cameras are really highly sophisticated, right? So they are like designed with very specialized material to enable them to survive really harsh environmental condition, as well as very sophisticated mechanical machinery to enable them for their very motion light pen tilt zoom. They're known for
Yep.
that in the industry. And yeah, so that if you look at the portfolio, that's where they are. And some of their analytics capabilities as well, so they are not just ruggedized from in the way they are designed, their mechanical structure, etc. These cameras come with analytics as well, and which is very important for some of the use cases like what I just mentioned just now, like perimeter bridge, or like for a very highly controlled area. So if you think about it, some of the use cases are like in ports or refinery and oil and gas. And Eric, I think you
Yep.
you guys, you do have customers in that space as well, right? In that vertical.
Yeah, we have a lot of some big manufacturers. When it comes to processing corn, soy, grain, that type of things. Those
Yeah.
environments where you have to have UL rated radios, batteries,
Yep.
speaker mics, that type of thing. That any you know you don't want to cause a spark because it could potentially cause
Yep.
an explosion, right? And that could
Intrinsic safe
Yep,
cameras.
and that
Yeah.
could be
Intrinsic safe.
cause a ripple effect,
Yeah.
in town. But yeah, no, we have high heat, low temperatures. We're here in the Midwest. We see lots of ranges of temperatures.
Yeah.
Just the other day it was, 75 degrees. Now it's down to 50, just in a couple days, right?
Yeah.
So, um, no, I've seen some of the housings. They're super rugged, right? And it can just, like you said, in a car wash environment where you just need to protect that camera. I remember early on, we had a camera line that we were using very, very early, about 10 years ago, and every 6 months we had to go replace it
Wow.
because of the fumes from them welding all day
Mhm.
long in a manufacturing environment. Wish I would have had Videotech and Silent Sentinel back then, because we could have used one of those ruggedized housings to protect our connectors on the back, because they kept corroding our copper in the line and on the connector. So yeah, definitely environments that we can use this in. With manufacturing, rail yards, anything explosive. Even pharmaceutical companies have some of these types
Some
of environments
requirements.
too, where you have to
Yeah.
have like that NEMA rated enclosure. So,
Yeah.
um,
No, definitely. So
what
so
what
even
a,
like,
go
no.
ahead.
I was just about to expand to say that, and that is the exciting part about video tech. As part of the portfolio right now is that you know partners like yourselves who already have presence in these verticals that need really ruggedized, uh, you know IP, no, I wouldn't say IP, yeah, it's like IP rating, intrinsic safe needs for their security solutions. Now we can meet to that need, right? By having this addition of this additional product line in our portfolio, right? So that's the exciting part.
Yeah, and I know like is it Silent Signal that has the thermal imaging too?
Yes, yeah. So you're right. So Silent Sentinel, um, very different, right? So with Silent Sentinel, it further expands the portfolio. Now, you think about fixed video cameras today, it's really based on visible light and optical detection. What Silent Sentinel offers is a different kind of camera that is based on thermal detection. So it's able to detect infrared radiation and able to use temperature differentiations
Yep.
to identify objects up to 20 miles away. So if
Wow.
you think about this camera, right, it can even operate in like foggy conditions as well, and even at night. So very different application, and again, really sitting in that very specialized camera side of the portfolio.
Yeah, and I can see that being used. Like I said, the my manufacturers that have large rail yards that have to see and be Homeland Security compliant.
Yep.
People walking across tracks or walking down the track,
Yeah.
approaching the plant. Right, it's we always have to be aware of uh, those issues, potential issues that could go on. Also, we've had to put in pan tilt zoom cameras, PTZ cameras for
Uh-huh.
utility companies that have power plants. Right, they have to be able to see a mile or two down the road. They have to see who's coming down the road. They have to see who's anyone's on the grounds,
Hmm.
and so they have these big, huge fence lines out in the middle of nowhere, and Silent Sentinel could be an excellent camera for that, especially rainy, foggy conditions.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect lighting. We're really looking at the changes in heat, cold. The temperature changes, which is awesome. So.
Yeah.
We got a few minutes left here. We got a couple more topics I want to talk to you about, and then we'll get you on your way. Okay.
All
Um,
right. No worries.
let's kind of go back to the main brand Pelco for a second.
Yeah.
Um, you guys have brought on a software like an AI cloud engine called Calypso. Can you explain about describe what that is and give our viewers some background on how we can use Calypso in their environment potentially?
Yeah. So Calypsa is a technology leader in native cloud-based advanced video analytics, and we acquired them back in April 2022. Now, what Calypso technology solves is one of the hardest problem in video security today. We spoke a lot about analytics and alarms and detection, right? And often when you apply all such analytics in environments where it changes a lot, right? You tend to get a lot of false alarms, right? So the if you think about in the world we are today, the number of cameras in the world is staggering. In the
Mm-hmm.
United States, there is one fixed video camera for every four people, and this excludes residential cameras. So you can just think about the amount of cameras that's out there.
Yeah.
And what has changed in or I would say that you see in the industry is that many enterprises today, they use the services of alarm monitoring companies to deal with these alarms, right? And these alarm monitoring companies, they hire a army of people to review alarms and determine if they are false alarms or true alarms that requires action and response. Now, with the Calypso technology, what it does and offer to the portfolio for us is that it becomes this one is that it is this cloud native machine learning capabilities that's now an add-on to the Pelco camera, as well as an offer that we can provide to our customers on their existing infrastructure, right?
Awesome. So we can use that. We can overlay that Calypso platform to help offset false alarms. Is basically what you're saying, right? So a tree blows, a leaf blows, squirrel, whatever may come across. It's
Yes.
smart enough to understand, recognize. No, that's an animal, or that's
Yeah.
a light change in the scenery, right? In the
Yeah.
pixels.
Yeah, because it keeps learning, right? That's the thing is that once you have your analytics up in a cloud environment, it keeps learning and understanding its environment, and then identifies what is really true, what's really it's needed to send as a detection or an alarm, versus what's false, right? Like what you said just
Yep.
now. So when you let you have say you have a field of view, a squirrel moving or a shadow from a tree, it may pick up as an alarm, right? So this really saves a lot of time. And with Calypsa, we the engineering team has done analysis on it. It reduces false alarm for more than over than 50%.
Oh
So
wow.
that's a lot, right? Because at some, if you think about us as human, right, if we start to get a lot of false alarms, you think that, okay, you know what, I'm not going to look at it, it must be a false alarm, and when the true alarm
Right.
comes in, you will not pay attention. So that's what Calypso does. And another thing that Calypso solves, which is another huge problem, is that the camera health monitoring, right, which is really
Yep.
beneficial. There's a lot of, when you think about an enterprise organization that has tens of thousands of cameras on their network, sometimes these cameras might get dislodged. Sometimes the camera might get tampered with. They might have debris, or their lens obstructing, being obstructed by view. Maybe there's cobwebs on them, and when this happens, right, it can trigger off a false alarm, or worse, it may miss a detection. So
Right.
Calypsa is able to precisely identify when the cameras have these health issues, so that it can provide a notification, so that the enterprise organization and customers, they can go and proactively service and repair these cameras.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can definitely see that as a potential problem solver, right? Solving for safer.
Yeah,
Um, one of the things that we hear from police departments all the time is that they're tired of responding to false alarms, right, from these monitoring companies,
yeah,
and out of 1,000 alarms, there might actually really be three actual events that
yeah,
they have to respond to, but they're getting called out. They're getting, every time they come to a business, every time, I think after two or three attempts to get called out or show up, those customers start getting charged by the city or by the
oh yeah,
municipality or by the county. Um, it helps our customers save money, helps uh, with our government resources, right? We only have so many police officers, so many um, sheriff deputies that are out there that are trying to solve real crimes. The last thing that we need them to do is to show up at an event that's a squirrel running across the road, or maybe a
on a
deer
false alarm.
walk by and it's a false alarm, right?
Yeah,
So no,
yeah,
that's really awesome. I'm really excited to see. Um, I'm really excited to see that and see what Motorola does in the future for that. Um, quickly, let's go through IP video. We could probably talk all day on this,
oh
but
yeah,
we're seeing a lot of traction. People know IP video for their product called Halo sensors, which are
yeah.
vape clean air detection sensors, right? They do much more than that. Um, and just a quick couple stats for you. I looked these up
Yeah,
last
yeah.
night.
All right.
Um, the biggest vape problem that we're seeing right now is in the middle school environment, and not so
Mm-hmm,
much the high school.
mm-hmm,
And middle school vaping has increased from 3.3% to 4.6% just in the last year or so, from 2022 to 2023. Now, although the CDC says tobacco use has decreased, we're still seeing a lot of vaping in schools. It's definitely not healthy for our kids, and can cause a lot of issues down the road. Can you talk a little bit about our your acquisition to acquire Halo? I know they've been a big time company in the security market, IoT of things. I know they have about 70,000 sensors out there nationwide. A lot of them in school districts.
mm-hmm.
Will you expand upon what was the logic behind the acquisition there, and where do you see Halo moving forward with Motorola in this platform?
Yeah, so sensors are increasingly important part of an overall physical security system, and increasingly sensors are being managed as part of the video management software, right? So that's the strategy, and why everything now as part of the ecosystem with the video security analytics platform from Motorola Solutions. And IP Video is the leading provider of vape detection in schools. It's sold under the brand name Halo, so many people
Yep.
might identify it as Halo. But in addition to be able to detect vape, it's really a broader sensor platform that's able to detect gunshot detection, abnormal noise, motion, intrusion detection, and air quality, right? So that's what Halo does, or I would say IP Video does for our entire portfolio. And in fact, just maybe a trivia here, not really trivia, maybe to share with you, Eric, that recently in ISC West, uh, Halo won an award for their
That's
Halo
awesome.
Amplify sensor. Yeah, so with the Hello Amplify sensor, what it does is it's like a connected sensor suite and designed to kind of help and protect, people and property in schools, environments, commercial offices, hospital, hotels, and rentals. And what it does is it's actually a Bluetooth enabled sensor that can connect to up to 30 Bluetooth devices. And what this sensor does is it connects to each Hello sensor, smart sensors on your network, and that sensors provides event data all the way all connected to the cloud in the dashboard, right? So some of the use cases for Hello Amplify is, people counting, there's the eye
Yep.
panic as well. It can be used to trigger alerts when a door or windows are open, temperature, detects temperature changes. So a lot of different applications. So I think we are in such an exciting time right now. Our portfolio is just going to expand, and there's also it's not just expansion of portfolio, but also the cross pollination between the portfolios to
Yep.
create those integrations, like what you said just now, right? You get an alert somewhere, and then the alert, is connected to the radio network, and then it sends that alarm off immediately to a security officer with an ion radio, right? So that's the
Yeah.
amazing thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know we're looking at them at some school districts right now. There's been a lot of increased interest in these again because it's a device that can go in an environment that we can't necessarily put a camera in, right? You
Yeah.
think of a bathroom. No,
Yeah.
you're not going to put a camera in a bathroom,
No, it's
but
a
the
privacy,
sensor
right?
is so
Yeah.
smart that it can detect, who's in that bathroom,
Dwell time.
or yeah,
Yeah,
or people are hiding in there. The
yeah,
gunshot detection, as you mentioned,
yeah,
clean air. There's like 100 different things that from air quality standpoint. It's not just vape or
yeah.
THC. I think they're going to release something about they're going to be able to potentially detect fentanyl soon,
Oh, okay.
which is huge in this country, unfortunately. Um, but the fact that the sensor can if someone's screaming help in a bathroom can trigger that alarm right to our ion radios or our sevens, the radio
Okay.
system through orchestrate,
Yeah,
to the mobile app, to all these connected integrated devices, right? And that solving for safer platform. You guys have hit it out of the park with Halo. They're obviously the leader. They're still winning awards. You're still innovating, right?
yeah,
Even as being just acquired from Motorola Solutions.
yeah.
Um, last thought on that, I think it's crazy. Our Halo guy Tom Jurgen, he sent me a link the other day, and he was
Uh-huh.
like, "Hey, this is." He showed me a picture or told me like, "Hey, you know, it's the highlighters, right? Highlighters. They're making highlighters that have vape in them, and all these different devices, like everyday school devices, to
Mm-hmm.
get kids to vape. So
Sweet.
it's this product is right up our alley. Teachers, principals, they're trying to make our schools safer,
Safer. Yeah.
and this is one way that we can do that. So they're very smart about their vaping, right? It used to be the USB ports, and now it's literally a highlighter marker that they can vape off of. It's
Wow.
crazy. So
It's crazy. Yeah.
um, final thoughts here. Wrap it up. What's next for Motorola solving for safer platform?
Well, I know there's more and more to come for sure. And as we kind of seen here, right? It's all the investment that's gone in both organically and inorganically. Now is, it continues to get innovated. There's cross pollination to make the portfolio better and stronger through the acquisitions that's been done. There's a really strong sense of pride being a Motorolian. I can remember early day in my career journey in the company when I was back in Penang, Malaysia. I would routinely embarrass myself by inspecting, two-way radios, and then I saw people's belt to make sure it said Motorola Solutions. And now that I'm part of video security side of the business, I'm always like, craning my neck upwards as I walk around the cities or waiting in the airport gates to see if the cameras are branded Pelco or Vigilant. So I'm sure we'll continue to acquire new businesses and capabilities, and I look forward to see what else will be added to my watch list. So I guess stay tuned.
Awesome. Well, hey, Sharon, I appreciate your time today. We appreciate you coming on.
Well,
We
thank you for having
appreciate
me.
the Solving for Safer platform. It's really revolutionized our industry, our business, our company. We're growing every day. We're making our community safer. And our motto is our family protecting yours as a small local business here in Central Illinois. And so thank you again for your time. Like, share, repost, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. I'm there. Push to Talk, sponsored by Beck Tech, a Barbeck company.